We are a diverse community.
Donde vecinos ayudan a sus vecinos.
Where the good far outweighs the bad.
And where everyday people emerge as heroes.
That's
Positively
Milwaukee.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Today's TMJ4 Positively Milwaukee Awards, honoring everyday people who make southeastern Wisconsin a better place to live. Here is your host for the evening, Carol Meekins.
Thank you, everybody. We are so happy to see you here this evening. This is such a wonderful event. This is the first annual Positively Milwaukee Awards, and we want to say thank you to everybody. The Harley Davidson Museum, you have been excellent and special for all of us. And tonight, what we are doing, we are going to celebrate what is right in the world. We're going to honor the difference makers. We're going to honor the people who do good without seeking the spotlight. Today's TMJ4 actually received hundreds of nominations from devoted friends, coworkers, family, and fellow volunteers. Many of them do amazing work themselves. And many of you are here in the audience tonight. Thank you for being here. Each of our winners tonight will receive $1,000 for the charity of their choice. And yes, you can applaud that. That's very special. And we have something even more exciting because one of those winners will also receive our Inspiration of the Year Award, and that's an additional $1,000 for charity. So we are so proud to offer this to you. Now, today's TMJ4 has been highlighting local heroes during our newscasts for more than 25 years. That's a long time. The Positively Milwaukee segment started as a way to shine a light on all of the good people, the great people doing good things in our community, but it began with one man. And that man is journalist Bill Taylor. And we have a special treat because tonight we are going to go back in the archives and take a look at some of the stories and the people who have been positively Milwaukee.
John Voles is a Milwaukee firefighter with 8 years on the job. He says he likes his work because he's able to help people. But the helping doesn't end when he leaves the fire station. Voles volunteers 1,000 hours a year to the Hillside Boys and Girls Club. Voles says he's sometimes criticized for his volunteer work and his generous donations, but he says he'll continue to help the Boys Club because it's his way of doing something positive. Bill Taylor, News Channel 4. All of them are doing something that is positively Milwaukee. He did this to bring home the message to kids, go the distance, stay in school, and away from drugs and gangs and violence.
Well, I thought I could demonstrate to these kids that by going the distance and putting their mind to it, they can finish school and they can do anything they want.
So why is this busy physician, professor, producer doing this?
To educate them, allow them to feel empowered and to know that we can do something about this and they can continue to live long, healthy, fulfilling lives.
When you give to your community, you are Positively Milwaukee.
St. Catherine has served 10,000 people over the past 42 years, and most importantly, they have become productive members of society.
This really is community in this building. My dad never told me. I didn't know till after he died and I saw his discharge papers that he had a Silver Star. He never talked about it.
I'm just trying to give the same gift that was given to me onto others.
So you want to be a positive role model or a mentor to others?
Oh yes, that's the plan.
People are always showing the negative, and I wanted to show something positive.
Each of us are angels, but we're only given one wing, and we can only fly when we embrace each other.
It takes between 50 and 100 hours to make one mercy mat.
It helps people that are homeless, and I don't think that's fair that people don't have a home.
It's a love story and a toy story. Bill and Sylvia Kane have been married for 71 years.
With this right here, I keep out of my wife's hair, and she's satisfied.
Is that the secret to a happy marriage?
Oh, yes, I think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome and help us honor the founder of Positively Milwaukee, Bill Taylor. Standing ovation, Bill. Bill, we are so honored to have you here. And on behalf of today's TMJ4 and all of the positive people that you have introduced us to over the years, we would like to present you with an important symbol of appreciation. This is our Founders Award. It will recognize your inspirational work and the legacy of positive news that you left Milwaukee. So I'm going to leave my spot. They told me to stay in my spot, but I'm going to leave my spot.
Come on over.
And it's got his picture on it. Isn't that lovely?
It's my evil twin.
So deserved, so deserved.
Wow.
Okay,
thank you, guys. This means a lot to me. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, today's TMJ4 and Scripps Corporation. I'm so pleased to be here and receive this award. It makes me flash back to my time at today's TMJ4 for 29 years covering Wisconsin news wherever it occurred. I and many of my colleagues traveled to Israel, Ireland, Ghana, Kenya, Somalia, and Germany to get news that affected the greater Milwaukee area. Thank you, Milwaukee. Thank all of you. Thank your peers. Thank your relatives. I felt the feedback. Thank you for responding to that phrase, do something positive today. So what you see here tonight is really the results of that. It was the nursing home supervisor, Cordelia Taylor, who's no relation to me, but she's powerful. She decided she didn't like the treatment her clients were getting, and she and her husband sold their house in Brown Deer and started her own nursing home. It was the Milwaukee firefighter who just happened to be white, but he spent most of his time at a predominantly black North Side Boys and Girls Club. And the list grew and grew. So is there still a place in the news rundown today for positive news? I'll give you a resounding yes. Yebo, as they say in Ghana. Thank you all. Thank you. Asante Sana.
Thank you, Bill. Well, it all did begin with you, and we appreciate you being here, and it's a blessing. Now we're going to talk about our first winner. Our first winner grew up in Milwaukee and wanted to be a filmmaker, but he was inspired by his father, who was the president of the Harambee School Board. Katanga Alexander could not ignore his true calling.
How I classify teachers is people who answer a question. Today, I work with individuals who are returning from incarceration, facilitating or supporting these individuals as they maintain or stay on the path of productivity. Although the situations have changed as far as being directly in a classroom with children to now being in classrooms with adults, we're still working on answering questions. The thing about my upbringing was everyone was that one teacher that gives you that drive, that gives you that understanding that you can do or accomplish something. Harambee Community School was a school that was operated and governed by the parents, right on First and Burleigh. And that school was the first sense I got of community. When you have community, everyone becomes educators. Harambee was a true community. It's no longer open, but it's still in the heart. I've been working with the Allman Center for a few years in different capacities. So I've been jumping around, all with the same goal, is productivity. It's odd to see people say, you know, I love you, but we hear that, I hear that a lot from my individuals, and it makes me feel so good because of the conditioning that most of us, and particularly men, have been brought up to be. That is something that's outside of the box, and the goal is to make the box disappear altogether.
In my mind, I see him as getting up in the morning and putting on his Superman shirt, you know, and then he continues on with the day, right? And he's flying around the world and he's teaching you how to do this and he's teaching you how to do that. Then he goes back home and he takes off that shirt. But when he takes off the shirt and he looks in the mirror, it's actually a tattoo on his chest. You know, that he's a Superman.
So many guys have come back in these past 2.5 years just to see him, just to say, hey, look at what I've done with my life. He's just a wonderful guy. That's the reason for me why Katanga's Positively Milwaukee.
He's able to teach those life experiences that could either break someone or make someone. He truly wants to bring forth the positive and let that be what you lead with.
He's always going to be a teacher.
I think the way that he lives his life is just absolutely beautiful.
And that's why he is a great person in his current position. That's why he's great as a father, as a community member, as a volunteer, as an awesome ambassador for our next generation. That's why he's Positively Milwaukee.
In the Kiswahili language, Harambe means work and pull together. This man knows the secret to that concept. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Positively Milwaukee inspiring teacher, Katanga Alexander.
Wow. TMJ4, Positively Milwaukee. I really appreciate this. This is a humbling feeling that I have right now. I would also like to thank my wife for nominating me, meaning that if I didn't say that, I would probably have a little bit of trouble tonight. Education is something that you could get from multiple people in multiple places. I wanted to take the time to mention Deacon Merle Davis because I got so many tools from him. And part of the reason that I'm standing here today is because of the information that he passed on to me. Deacon Merle Davis represents our past. But us in here today, all of us, represent the present. And ONG, our next generation, the organization that is doing some wonderful work with some wonderful, beautiful children, represent our future. So I accept this award with all of those things, past, present, and future in mind. Thank you.
Coming up, one woman's mission to feed hungry families in Racine. And later, Milwaukee Buck star Jabari Parker accepts the Beacon Award when the Positively Milwaukee Awards continues. Welcome back to the Today's TMJ4 Positively Milwaukee Awards.
Right now we want to take a moment to recognize two organizations helping to make tonight possible. Heiser Automotive is our presenting sponsor. Now, Heiser has been a part of the community for 100 years. And its CEO, Marianne Scafidi, and her team are here tonight. And there's a table back there, so we want to say thank you all for supporting all things Positively Milwaukee. Thank you, Marianne, and your team. You know, we're going to hear from Marianne a little bit later. We also want to thank the Scripps Howard Foundation, because the foundation is providing the prize money for our winners to donate to the charities of their choice. And the winners actually got to choose the organizations that they wanted the Scripps Howard Foundation to support. And all of this money is going to go to important local charities that are making a big impact. Now, to say a few words about those charities, the winner selected, we would like to welcome Lee Rose, Director of Community Investments for the Scripps Howard Foundation, to the stage. Thank you so much, because without the funding, none of us would be here.
Thank you, Carol. On behalf of the Scripps Howard Foundation, congratulations to our winners tonight. We are proud to partner with you in providing donations to so many worthy and diverse local organizations. Our winners have selected as their charities Our Next Generation, providing academic tutoring, enrichment, programming, and social support to thousands of students in Milwaukee. Dry Hooch, helping veterans and their families who survived war survive peace. The Holy Communion Lutheran Church Food Pantry of Racine. The Wisconsin Humane Society, most recently providing refuge for animals rescued from Florida following Hurricane Irma. Three Harbors Council, Boy Scouts of America, delivering scouting programs to more than 26,000 young people in Kenosha, Milwaukee, and Racine counties. Holy Redeemer Institutional Church of God in Christ, promoting educational, financial, and social empowerment in the Milwaukee area. The work these organizations do is truly giving light and changing lives. Thank you for being Positively Milwaukee.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you so much, Lee. And let's face it, without the funding, we cannot do this. And you know, there's a saying that we can survive in the darkness, but we really cannot see until we truly see the light. And the Scripps Howard Foundation is truly lighting the way for a better tomorrow. So thanks to all of you for being here and supporting all of our wonderful honorees. And right now we want to bring up some people to talk about another special individual, because we have the Inspiring Senior Award. Now, a lot of people were nominated, but we found someone that is truly proving that age is just a number. And here to present those awards are the co-anchors of Live at 4, Live at 6, and 4-1 Forward, Charles Benson and Shannon Sims.
You know, I just witnessed a very special moment here tonight, right over at that table. I know Katanga just got a check and a statue, but he received a precious gift from his very proud daughter, who gave him the biggest hug when he walked up here. Well, it started in a basement closet, but today the Holy Communion Lutheran Church Food Pantry is one of the busiest in Racine.
And for nearly 25 years, one woman has quietly worked to keep the shelves stocked, coordinated volunteers, and of course, feed families.
Now in her 70s, Sharon Wilschinski still devotes at least 40 hours a week to the pantry and makes sure that the clients are treated with dignity and respect.
But when you ask Sharon who runs the pantry, she credits a higher power.
As far back as I can remember, just being a child, I've always wanted to help.
I guess the reason why I thought Sharon was so deserving is because she doesn't do it to be recognized. She does it to do the right thing.
She inspires others in the community to give their best also. And I think that's an important quality.
She has like the perfect mix of like kindness and compassion, but also she is a take charge person.
So the food pantry was actually down here when it started in 1977. This is the original. 1993 is when I started working in the food pantry. It's just incredible how it's growing and how we've been able to meet the needs of the community. The glory goes to God because He's the one that keeps us going. There have been times where I didn't know where I was going to get any money. We were way, way down. Or I didn't know where I was going to get some of the food from because we didn't have that, or I was just plain short on volunteers. I just pray and ask, and He delivers. It's incredible.
Day and night, she thinks about this food pantry.
It should be called Sharon's Food Bank, and if we made a sign, it would be taken down.
She'd be mad at us.
She'd be mad at us, but it's her.
Never in my whole life heard a person say thank you, just the words thank you, as often as Sharon has.
I think it's all about giving. When people come in, they sit, and when they do the paperwork, they'll talk with the volunteers, and they just want to talk about what's happening in their life. They just want somebody to listen to them. And it makes their day, and it makes our day. We just really feel good about it.
You're energized to even come here. I look forward to whatever I can do for her to help her, because I know she's got a big load.
She's respectful to the clients that come in. She's respectful to us. She encourages us. She sets an example for us every single day.
I honestly can feel God's presence in this food pantry. It was the Monday before Thanksgiving, and the assistant secretary to the church came into the food pantry at 9 in the morning, and she wanted to know how many turkeys we were going to give out. And I said, Sharon, I can't give any out. We just don't have the money. And she said, well, if you were going to give out turkeys, how many would you give out? And at that time, we served less people, and I said, probably about 20. That was at 9 o'clock, and she said, okay, and she left. At 11:30, the church secretary came in, and she said, you need to come out here and see this. A white cargo van had pulled up to the stairs, unloading 20 turkeys. There's a lot of stories like that, where you just little things. It was a turkey. I don't even like turkey, but I mean, it just made it for them. So that's how God works. Thank you so much for this honor and for this incredible gift. I would also like to extend a very warm thank you to Kathy Spatholz and the volunteers of the food pantry for nominating me for this award. I have to say honestly, this is quite an honor. And then there's my family, who I thank for their support and tolerance in working around my schedule a lot of the time. I have to tell you, the pantry has a way of changing you. I feel that it has helped all of us to grow in our understanding and compassion for those less fortunate. Thank you.
From a truly amazing senior to a teenager who is changing the world one book at a time. Here to present our Inspiring Student Award is my co-anchor on Live at 5 and Live at 10, George Mallet, and from WTMJ Radio, Jane Matinaire.
Well, at age 8, she began working with children and literacy. At 12, she started a service club at her middle school because, well, there wasn't one. And she's been an animal lover, kind of like us, her whole life.
Now, at the ripe old age of 17, she has traveled the world to make people's lives better and to promote the power of reading. Her story may just inspire you to get involved. Waukesha's Colleen de Lisle, our inspiring student.
Goodness is contagious. And I think the impact of a young person's service, I would say, is greater than the impact of adult service.
I think as adults, we're limiting. We can think of a lot of reasons why something won't work.
She's shown me that it's just easy to go out and do. Just keep doing.
I see Colleen as inspiring both to peers and to adults, certainly to me.
Community service is a place where anyone's welcome. Like, you don't have to be a certain age, you know, you don't have to be like a certain person for it. It's anybody can do it. Being able to help other people is something that I feel strongly about and that everyone should definitely do because it's a great experience. You get a lot of rewarding feelings from it and it helps build your character a lot.
Colleen is one of those unusual people who really has at the core of her being a life of service.
It stuck with her the whole time that reading is a viable part of life.
Access to books, the opportunity to read to children, have children read to you. These things are things that can get lost.
She just really cares about kids and she seems to see that they need to read to be successful.
I started in middle school with the book drive and typically in my mind I thought it would only last about a year, if that, and the books just kept pouring in. I had over 3,000 books in my garage at one point in storage and they were just everywhere.
She actually, by the end of her book drive, had distributed over 7,000 books.
The Born Literacy Trails.
Think of the fitness trails like through some parks where you stop at a station, maybe you're doing pull-ups here and then you do a balance beam thing here. In the literacy trail, it'll have number games, hopscotch, how to play it.
I think that's more of a fun way that kids can learn while having fun instead of seeing it as kind of like a burden that they have to learn it. Haiti will always have a place in my heart. My first trip to Haiti, I was 13 years old, and it was something I've never seen before. I was holding this little boy and we walked around, and the little boy was obviously sick. He had like dried stuff around his nose and he'd just been coughing the entire time. So I went to go get him back to his mom, and his mom goes, "No, you take him." And it just broke my heart seeing that like these parents would rather have their kids go back with someone that they don't know instead of living with them because they think that they'd have a better life because of it. And it brought a sense of like love and compassion into my heart and showed me that their parents just want what's best for them, and it's just a proven point that all parents want that.
A lot of people walk through life and they can't see past their own experience. And she sees past where she is and in her community, and she sees people and she connects with them.
If you enforce the positive things that happen in the world, it can lead and inspire other people to do more things to help the world become a better place, so that all you're seeing is a positive outlook. It's the best feeling I've ever had, like seeing people and how like grateful they are for the little things you're doing, and it can honestly build your character into something greater, even though you're not really doing anything that big.
Oh man, this is so exciting. My heart is beating so fast. I just wanted to thank my parents right off the bat and my older sisters for everything they've taught me growing up. You know, volunteering is not a job. It's not something that you have to do in order to get some school award. You have to put in this many hours in order to get this award so you can apply to college and it'll make you look good. To me, it's something that you can build relationships off of. You can gain characteristics that make you a better person as a whole. It's not something that I see myself, I have to wake up on a Sunday morning to go volunteer at a church in Milwaukee and I have to go play with these kids. I see it as something as, yes, I'm excited to do this because it's something I like to do. It's something that helps, you know, make kids see the world as a better place. And reading is something that I just thought, you know, would help those kids learn, and it's not a tool everyone has in their life. It's not a resource that everybody is, you know, can have at firsthand, and I just thought that that was the best way to go to help children enjoy life while having fun. And so I just wanted to thank everyone again for this award. So thank you.
Coming up, we honor Milwaukee Bucks star Jabari Parker for his work off the court. And next, a true community hero when the Positively Milwaukee Awards continues. Welcome back to the Today's TMJ4 Positively Milwaukee Awards.
Well, our next award was created to honor those in uniform who serve and go above and beyond the call of duty. They're serving our community, and whether they're fighting fires or serving in law enforcement or our country, their drive to help others never stops. And here to present our Community Hero Award is the Mayor of Milwaukee, the Honorable Tom Barrett.
Thank you, Carol, and thank you, TMJ4. Now, more than ever, we need stories that highlight the good people in our community. There's so much we can be proud of in southeastern Wisconsin, and I'm honored to be part of tonight's celebration. Our next honoree says scouting saved his life. The Boy Scouts of America gave Ken Harris the foundation he needed as a young man. And what he built from that foundation makes him our Community Hero Award winner.
When I think of a hero, I think of somebody who is a leader in our community. And Ken has just been a key leader in the Boy Scouts of America, but not only for us and for our council here. He's been a leader for the work he's done in the police department. He's been a leader at Concordia. He's been a leader for the 100 Black Men of Greater Milwaukee. He's also been a leader of his fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha.
There are people who talk the talk, you know, leadership, 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 but very few will kind of hit the ground and do the work. And he's one of those people that will do the work.
When I think of Ken, I think of somebody who is a hero in the community and is doing great leadership for the youth of our community.
Every organization needs a secret weapon. Ken's our secret weapon.
Law enforcement is one of the few professions I know where you swear an oath to die for people you don't know. Your first call for service, you could be shot and killed. That might be the last time you say goodbye to your wife. That'd be the last time you wave to your kids goodbye. And so you have to really make sure that everything you do counts. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. I remember my mother distinctly putting me in Boy Scouts almost immediately. All the persistence and resilience and you know, stumbling through life came from things I learned in scouting. Most of my mentors were all law enforcement officers. Somebody gave me a chance. And so I think it's incumbent upon me to give somebody else that same opportunity. That part kind of makes you feel good.
Where I did grow up at, a lot of people don't go to college and don't finish high school and get jobs.
Dr. Harris is a really busy man, but just the fact that when he chooses to start his day and meet with Timmy at 8 o'clock, Timmy's got to be one of the first people that he sees in the morning. And the fact that he's there every week on a consistent basis means the world to me, and I can see how it's cultivating a lot of positive change in Tim.
He knows that people don't always have people to go to, so he's preparing me to be strong. I think it's a blessing.
It seems like, you know, some people are just born to be that leader, and I think that's Ken. And we're really proud of the fact that he was able to accomplish this, and I'm sure he's not done. I'm almost positive we'll hear about more acknowledgments in the future.
He doesn't strike me as the type of person that would ever retire and kick their feet up.
Many times we mistakenly think we have to move an entire city or an entire population, but that if 500,000 people in Milwaukee picked one person, next year there would be 1 million successful people. That's been my driver. That's been the thing that I've used to transfer to other people, to have created a movement within a person. Usually we think about a movement and moving a whole group of people. I want to be able to have created a movement within the individual. First of all, let me thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for the bountiful blessings he's bestowed on me over the years. From an impoverished boy on the south side of Chicago to a PhD associate professor at Concordia University, I'm a living witness of what a loving family, a beautiful wife, an experience of raising 2 loving daughters, family, friends, and especially scouting can do. So thank you again for this award. I will cherish it for the rest of my life. God bless America, the great state of Wisconsin, and I pray God's blessings on the city of Milwaukee. Thank you.
Coming up, a Glendale couple that gave a loving home to dozens of children. And we're just minutes away from Milwaukee Buck star Jabari Parker when the Positively Milwaukee Awards continues. Welcome back to the today's TMJ4 Positively Milwaukee Awards, honoring everyday people who make southeastern Wisconsin a better place to live.
Tonight, our Unsung Hero Award recipient is not a solo act. Actually, it's a couple from Glendale, and they might just change the way you think about the word family. And here to present our Unsung Hero Award is the anchor of the now, our own Steve Shamrock. Steve?
Thank you, Carol. That couple you mentioned has fostered 70 children. Look at your table. That's 10 people. It's enough to fill up 7 tables in this room tonight. Blessed with 2 biological children of their own, Robin and Leroy Harmon still had so much to share. They adopted several of those foster kids. Because of their selflessness and their generosity, they are tonight's unsung heroes.
A lot of people talk about helping children, but they would never invite those children into their personal space, into their homes. And Robin and Leroy, they understand that children need love, children need acceptance, everybody needs a home.
When you meet them and when you have contact with them in a conversation, you leave thinking, wow, I need to do more. And wow, what else could I do to help better the world?
I see their motivation as trying to help those kids know that they're loved unconditionally.
We've always been a family that tried to keep the siblings together. That's why we ended up with so many kids.
Our first set of children, it was a group of 4 children.
Once they get in that system, it's so easy for them to get lost and never see each other again.
Sibling relationships are the longest lasting relationships that we experience in our lifetime. So I think the Harmons really get that, and that's what really makes them exceptional providers.
We spent a lot of time working with the entire family when we had their kids, because you never want to feel like you're taking their child from them. And even though they know they can't take care of their kids.
We can be temporary parents. We can do that. We can do a wonderful job at it. However, most children are generally still going to want to go home, because it's not just about the child. The child has a family. The family as a whole, they need the help.
We all need someone, all children need someone to care about them and love them, and there are so many out there, and I think they are such an inspirational couple, demonstrating how to make a difference.
They don't leave the children behind. They incorporate the children into the very fabric of their home life and their family life.
The way we do take care of children, we treat them as if they're our own kids. So when they go out, they don't look like they're a separate set of children. Whatever my kids have, they have.
It's always a family unit with us.
I just hope that we were there to be a helping hand, not a foot that kicks them as they've been kicked through their life.
My parents, they've always been embracing, people from the neighborhood, my friends, and all of our siblings' friends, so, that brings even more people, so it's fun. It's always been fun. It still is fun.
They're nice, understanding. I can tell them anything and they won't judge me, and they'll tell me how I can fix it.
We lived in a neighborhood that was not so very good. And it was very hard because we didn't have food, we didn't have a lot of money, we only had one bed.
It makes me feel happy and grateful that I have a nice family to live with and that really cares about me.
We're so glad that we get to be here.
It's just something that's beautiful, that's in our family.
I think what makes fostering very easy for them is because they have a partnership.
This doesn't work without us together. It can't work with anybody else. It's right here.
Sometimes it's just a late night conversation that we just sit back and think, wow, look how God put us together. It could have gone so much worse for us, but God didn't choose that. He chose this, and we're happy. 30 years, we're happy. We're still happy.
She's still my girlfriend.
Still my guy. 49 years ago, there was a little girl who was needing a home. That was myself, and I was taken care of by a family friend. That was a wonderful situation, though, so there were no bad things to say about it, but I thought all my life about how many people it's not going this well for. My husband and I, at an early age, we've been married 30 years, and with him, he was an easy person because he had his challenges in life too, to say, let's take this on. And it was just so exciting to see in our relationship, wow, this is another big plus that we won't be a statistic. And when we became the foster parents, the issues just kept coming. When we became the family that was known, they have a full house, they have a house, a nice sized house, and they can take a lot of children in. We just kept getting calls and kept getting calls, and we just knew this is something we wanted to do.
We don't do things for fanfare. We like to help people because that's what we're here for. And we've learned through all these years that it's not about us. It's about children and family. And I want you to understand, thank you for this award. But without an award, we'll still keep doing the same thing we're doing. God bless you.
That's beautiful.
Coming up, even after his death, see how a West Bend man's legacy of giving lives on. Plus Milwaukee Bucks star Jabari Parker when the Positively Milwaukee Awards continues. Welcome back to the Today's TMJ4 Positively Milwaukee Awards.
Well, it's often that we really don't know the true impact a person has had in their lifetime until they pass away. And that was certainly the case for the family of our inspiring legacy winner. And here to present that award, Vince Vitrano and Elise Preston from Live at Daybreak and Live at Noon.
It wasn't until the memorial service for West Bend's Mark Scholz that his family found out about all the many organizations to which Mark gave his time and every bit of endless energy.
On the surface, his friends and family say Mark could be gruff, maybe even a little grumpy sometimes, but inside that tough exterior beat the heart of a truly compassionate and generous man.
Outwardly, Mark was a tough guy. If Mark was still here, he probably wouldn't have allowed something like this to take place.
He was a curmudgeon.
Stubborn. Frustrating.
He was a prankster. He did get in trouble.
Very rough around the edges.
Hard-headed.
He didn't try and sugarcoat anything.
He was just a very unique individual.
But inside, he was a marshmallow.
He looked like he was real mean, but he was just a pussycat.
But the difference he made was huge. From his volunteering on the fire department.
He got involved with Meals on Wheels.
Big Brothers Big Sisters of Washington County.
Fundraising for the Kramer Cancer Center.
Being an EMT.
We identified him as Santa Mark.
He also helped us out at the Humane Society.
He was big into baseball because he loved baseball.
I don't think any of these organizations had to ask Mark if it was something close to his heart. He acted on it on his own. What's next? What else can I do? How can I do it? Who else can I involve?
When he was busy, he always was having a ball.
Mark passed away on February 19th, 2017.
I don't think Mark realized in everything that he did, all the organizations he supported so quietly, that he was actually building a legacy while he was still living.
My brother didn't have children of his own, but he loved kids dearly.
Through the Baseball Association, he gave $1,000 for a college kid or a kid out of high school going to college.
It was really for someone who showed a lot of heart.
Who gives 100%?
That's kind of who Mark was. Kind of went after the underdogs a lot of times.
He was just like a big inspiration to all of us. We put a patch on our jerseys in remembrance of him and always like have his jersey hanging up so that we could help recognize him for all the things that he did for us.
Mark and another gentleman every year threw a Packer party.
Another fundraiser could never say no to Mark because he never said no to you.
And they donated those funds to the Full Shelf Food Pantry in West Bend.
Over those years, we've given over $100,000 to the food pantry.
We, as a cancer center, are very fortunate that Mark did include a gift in his estate for us. So not only did he build that foundation for the legacy while he was living, but his legacy is going to continue on through that gift.
Mark missed some of our holidays because he was out helping other people. It's helped me to move on a little bit and know all the good that he did.
This is a very giving community, but we've got a big hole missing him.
I hope that people will see this and realize that Mark was one of a kind.
Now, in his absence, I wouldn't be surprised if some of those people took on a volunteering role to kind of honor him and what he did.
He's a great character. There'll never be another Mark.
He lived in the sunshine and appreciated a good day. And if you were lucky enough to know that side of Mark, you were lucky enough to know him.
I have been blessed with seeing this young man grow up to be very special.
He was a very, very humble person, and he lived his life that way. He did things out of the goodness of his heart, not looking for any accolades. He did it because he loved kids and he loved people and he loved to help.
To accept this legacy award on Mark's behalf, please welcome Mark's sister, Jan Zarin.
My brother, Mark, worked hard, he played hard, he loved hard, and he gave hard. He was an inspiring man. Clearly, Mark did not volunteer his time to help others and fundraise for many causes for the accolades. He was amazingly humble, Imagine if all of us tried to live our lives more like Mark. The world would be a better place. Thank you.
Coming up, we honor Milwaukee Bucks star Jabari Parker for his work off the court when the Positively Milwaukee Awards continues. Welcome back to the Today's TMJ4 Positively Milwaukee Awards.
The Positively Milwaukee Beacon Award goes to a person who lives a life in the spotlight, but uses that platform to make our community better. And here to present the Beacon Award are my colleagues from Sports and Weather, Lance Allen and Brian Goddard.
Thank you, Carol. Jabari Parker didn't grow up in Milwaukee. In fact, he lived just down the road in Chicago. We'll forgive you, though.
At least he ended up in the right place.
Yeah, exactly.
But when he started playing for the Bucks, man, I love it when they called his name.
Yeah.
It didn't take long for Jabari to start making a difference off the court, too.
Now, earlier this year, he received an Excellence in Education Award from Milwaukee Public Schools.
Not for inspiring students with his incredible ball playing, which is phenomenal, but for his generous donations and his work as an MPS ambassador to improve school attendance.
When we first started talking about attendance and chronic absenteeism, we realized that we needed more than just us as educators or even our family members to tell students how important it was to go to school. But we really needed someone who had lived in the very same shoes that our students are in, and who could really speak from their experience and talk about the importance of school and education and the importance of being there every day. And who better than to have Jabari Parker, someone that the students know and they're very familiar with, to have him serve as that role model to tell the students they needed to be in school every day. When Jabari comes around, the students light up. They get very excited. Some get emotional, just the fact that he's taken so much time to come and speak with them. As they light up, families light up. I know when he comes around, I always light up because he just represents the beauty that is inside of all of us, and he lives by that positive example every day.
These moments stand out more than anything I can do on the court, and this is how I want to, lead my life. So thank you, guys.
He always says that I'm his boss, but really it's the other way around. And he's the kind of person, if he has free time, he wants to just come to a school and he wants to say hello to the students. He wants to see what they're learning. And you can't really quantify how much that means when you serve a community in a school district that has 80,000 students across all of our schools, and it encourages more people to step up and really support the work that's happening with our students. I would really want him to know just how much of an impact and a difference he's made, not only on our kids, but on me. He's really special, and I hope he will always remember that, no matter where he goes. Someone who's had so many ups and downs, to take so much time still. I saw him the other day, and he was getting therapy, and he was like, "You gotta call me. I need to get back into schools." And someone who has that type of commitment and passion, they stay with you. So, I'm crying, I'm sorry. I just want him to know that he is forcing all of us to think very critically about the choices that we make and making sure that everything that we do is for the betterment of others. So, very thankful that he is a partner with us, and I'm so proud of him for getting this award, and I can't think of a better person who's more deserving of it.
Very, very grateful for this award. These awards always mean the most to me, and I always keep these. I have accolades that I had in college and high school, not so much in the NBA, but I always give those away. I give those to, family friends and give those to my family members, but the community awards, I always keep them in my house to remind me the importance it is to serve others, because like Muhammad Ali said, the service you give to others is like the rent you pay here on earth. So I make sure that I always keep that in the back of my mind. And, if you check my social media, my Twitter, and I also love it from my colleagues, I don't get it for fame. I don't get it for recognition. I do it because it hits my heart. And it is what I want to do and in my mission here on earth. And it's to my peace. I always make sure that I serve others because it keeps my well-being. And I just love kids. That's my passion, because kids are the future. And if you're able to shape kids just like the adults did to me growing up, you know, we can always pay it forward. So I always want to start early with the youth, and it's just so funny being around them because they teach me how enthusiastic I should be each and every day. You know, as adults, we can learn something from children. I'm going to keep this real close to me, and hopefully I can do more in the community. Thank you.
Coming up, who will be honored as the Inspiration of the Year? Find out next when the Positively Milwaukee Awards continues. Welcome back to the Today's TMJ4 Positively Milwaukee Awards.
And now we have come to our final award of the evening. This is our Heiser Automotive Inspiration of the Year. Here to help me is Marianne Scafidi from Heiser Automotive.
Thanks, Carol. It is an honor to be part of the Positively Milwaukee Awards, and I just wanted to say that all our winners tonight are an inspiration.
Well, I was told to stay on my perch. Okay, we can.
Oh, you're gonna like this. Tonight, the winner is Robin and Leroy Harmon.
Congratulations, come on up.
I just wanted to say I didn't even mention this in the other television section, but my husband and I had problems having babies. We had, this is pregnancy number 1 back here, and this is my pregnancy number 10. And we lost all the babies in between there.
Oh, wow.
But we never gave up. And we wanted to continue to have children that needed us. So that's why we continued, and I feel good about that.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
You know, this is really, many people talk about all the things that are wrong, and sometimes when you watch the news, you see people that have died, people that have killed someone, people that have hurt someone, but really, most people are just like the people you met tonight. Most people are doing good, quietly, and they're living lives of quiet dignity, and they're doing what is right for the greater good. Thank you all for being here and being with us tonight. This has been a fantastic evening. We hope this is the beginning of many years to come of Positively Milwaukee specials. And as our own Bill Taylor would say, go out and do something positive. Thank you for being here this evening.
This is what we